Hey guys, happy St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate. Not everybody does. It is Thursday, and I wanted to pop on. This is going to be a topic that I've kind of wanted to chat about for a little while now, just based on things that I've seen constantly popping up throughout our reborn Dell community. And so I'm going to talk about it because I'm going, one, I want to set the record straight, but also, enlighten those of you out there that may not be aware that this particular topic has come up over the years many times. So while I do that, I'm going to finally change Henley. It is, I think, around 70 degrees and sunny here today. No joke. It's like the most beautiful thing ever. So I'm going to put her in this really pretty romper by Jacqueline. And it's just a light pale pink with little oranges all over it. It's very cute. It's one of the rompers that I think that it will go good on her because she's got full limbs. So I won't have to worry about like her, her cloth body showing. And it's been like forever since I've changed her. So let's face it, it's overdue. It's overdue. So poor baby here, she's gonna finally get a change while I chat. So first off, we know that the topic of stolen kits, stolen artist work, has been a huge hot topic lately, right? Right. There's so many channels that have spoken on it, myself included. I did so specifically. I don't talk about all the hot topics, guys. Listen, I don't find it necessary for me to talk about all of the hot topics that come out. There's a lot of them. I pick and choose. And if an artist and I have been chatting, I'll use Bonnie Brown as the example because this is what we're talking about. And if she requests some help, I'm going to help her. When this topic came out, when most of us, as other people have quoted, jumped on the bandwagon, whatever, it was because of Bonnie Brown's plea to collectors to not buy fakes. It was directed at, one of her posts was directed at one particular collector who was boasting about it. And Bonnie was asking for our help as a community, right? Artists depend on us to speak up. Those of us that have platforms that can, that's what was being asked. I obliged. I spoke on it because the artist needed me to. And I was thanked for doing so. My video was then posted on Bonnie's website. And then it became not about the artists over time. I noticed that there were certain channels, a couple that don't like me, that felt the need to make it about who did it first, who deserves the credit. Now people only talking about it because it's popular. That's what I've heard. I don't follow these channels, but I hear from people that do. Listen, it's a small enough community. People know who I am. It's going to come back to me. Either way, I'm going to eventually hear about it, even if I don't follow these channels. And that's fact. I don't follow these channels anymore. I just don't find it necessary because I don't want to be sucked into the ridiculousness of I want credit where credit is due attitude. My take on this, and I'm not coming from a place of hatred or, I want credit. No. What I'm trying to do is clarify the actual real timeline of when us collectors started talking about stolen artist work. That's what's important. Not about who said it first, but I'm going to share the real timeline of when we saw these things happening, because to newer collectors, and I'm going to call those couple of channels that don't like me, they are newer collectors in my eyes. They weren't around when we were talking about other stolen artists' work, okay? So they are newer in this sense. So it's hard for me to sit back and watch, poke after poke after poke to anybody that spoke about stolen work, stolen artists' work, fake kits. They were bashed. They were spoken like, oh, it was just popular. That's why they did it, for views. Give me a break. All of us collectors came to the aid and defense of our artists because our artists were asking us to. They weren't asking someone to be like, oh, be the first. I'm the only one that's ever spoken on it, and start pointing out every video you spoke on it, a year or two before. This is not new. Pandemic happening when people are at home and buying things, then it blew up exponentially, but it wasn't new. I can date back to Dollfan days. You guys hear me talk about Dollfan a lot because it was my social media platform long before YouTube came onto the scene. It was our means of sharing and talking and debating and doing all the things we do on all the newer social media platforms. And back to those dates, early, like 2001, I think, or 2002 was when I joined Dollfan the first time. Then I gave it up for a short bit and then rejoined, I think around 2006, 2007, and then I'm still currently a member. I don't go on there much, but that's because it's been replaced with other things. But we used to talk about artists' work being stolen on that actual site. Why? Because it was happening then. Maybe not on the same scale it is now, because there were less collectors. It wasn't popular being in the reborn community, and dolls were just not, was unknown. And what kills me is that when collectors take the focus off of what the actual, the problems that we're trying to help and talk about and speak about on our channels and post on our social media accounts like Instagram, Facebook, it's not because we want credit or want the attention. It's not for that at all. In fact, I've gotten so much hatred for the video that I made about this. So much. Like, I've been attacked. I've been spoken about by multiple people that didn't like my content, thought I was too mean. Some thought I was too lenient on those that bought fake kits, fake dolls. And then the other side, which is I'm just hopping on the bandwagon and I'm not harsh enough. Like, I got it from all ends, literally. Because I tried to do it in a kind manner so that I could get the point across, because I thought the point was our artist is suffering. Bonnie was suffering. She was hurt. She was thinking of leaving. And my only goal was to make it better for her. Try to get through with kindness, because I lead with kindness. That's how I've lived my life. I believe that's the only way to get through to people is through kindness. Period. End of sentence. So when I saw people being attacked, I'm like, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to urge people to take a different stance and think of it in a different way, because nobody ever should be attacked. Nobody should ever feel they're unwelcome. Nobody should ever be like spoken about like some people were. I don't agree with the people that were buying it and buying support of, buying fakes or whatever. I don't support that at all. That was clear. But the point is, instead of coming together as a community, which was the goal, that was my goal, was that I even gave credit to the people that had previously spoken on it and wanted them to know that we wanted to come together as a community. Stand together, with our artists, behind our artists, beside our artists. But what happened was, instead, it was, we did it first. We did it first. We deserve the credit. And it took a huge problem that we're all trying to help our artists with. And then certain certain folks made it about them and have ever since. You know, when you have a social media platform, people are going to talk about the hot topics. People are going to talk about what's happening now. And when that was all going on, everybody wanted to help. It was coming from a very good place. I think that pretty much everybody, even ones that were on the harsh side of things, had great intentions because we want to help our artists. We realize how important it is. And so for people to say, no, I did it first, and just that's been what they lead with, instead of let's focus on the real problem here and let's help our artists. You know, I've also been bashed. If you didn't catch, there was, we did an interview, myself, another friend, and Tasha, we did an interview with Ping Lau because we wanted to get it out there. It wasn't just about Bonnie Brown. It was about all artists' work being stolen because it's happening to them all. And we want to just get the word out, hear from an artist's mouth exactly how they feel about it. And what happened after that? Now we're still getting bashed for that because, well, we stole that idea too. And, you know, it's like you can't win with the community. But the takeaway and why I wanted to talk about this is because we've all been talking about protecting our artists for years. I have videos. I have old videos talking about BabyClon. Remember BabyClon? They're still around. But it was a hot topic because they were outwardly stealing, copying, and molding dolls that were existing from real artists and making copies of them in silicone. Not okay. We all spoke on it. I made videos. I have multiple videos where I talk about BabyClon. That was years and years and years ago, guys. But I'm not standing here stomping my feet saying, I did it first. I get the credit. You're just doing it now because it's popular. Why does it matter who did it first? This is where I get lost in the weeds because I don't understand the point of needing credit for every little thing. That really, who cares? It shouldn't matter. It literally is, the more that talk about it, the merrier. It's better for our artists when more people use their platforms and talk about it so that everybody understands. So who cares who said it first? Who cares who made a video about it first? Who cares who posted about it first? None of it matters. The importance always gets drawn away from the topic, the problem, the thing we're trying to fix, into making it about oneself. To me, that's very selfish. I think it's silly behavior. I find it unnecessary. And honestly, it doesn't help our artists to see the bickering and the nonsense and the stupid comments that people just look for ways to just attack people because they might vary in opinion slightly. But all in all, everybody supports our artists. Everybody pretty much out there wants to support our artists. A lot of people didn't understand about it. So that's why more videos, better. Because if someone doesn't see it on my channel, they may see it on someone else's channel and then go, wow, okay, I didn't realize. And we got a lot of that. We got a ton of that when we did the Ping Lau interview. People didn't understand because the artist has a point of view that most of us don't quite get the depth of how bad the copying was happening for them and how long it's been going on. You know, this is, you know, Claire Taylor even spoke on it. She spoke on it. And this is early back in, like, prior to Reborn's existing. Things were stolen. Art was stolen. She spoke on it in one of her sculpting videos. It is a big deal. It always has been. It's just more prominent because our community has become very popular and very much a moneymaker. Therefore, the amount of copying, the amount of theft is going to grow with it. It's a moneymaker. Period. Like, we talk about scammers all the time. This is yet another form of scamming. That's it. We've all talked about scamming. This is just at a higher level that's directly affecting our artists who put their heart and soul into these. So yes, of course, we're going to talk about it. We're all going to talk about it. And I'm here to tell you that it does not matter who said it first. It does not matter whose channel made a video about it first. It doesn't matter. Don't get lost in all of the white noise, guys. I'm here to tell you that if you're discouraged because you've been picked at, you've been talked about because you copied somebody and got on the bandwagon and spoke on an important topic, that is what we do. When we support our artists, that is what we do. We come here and we share our thoughts on it because we find it to be important and we want to support our artists. We don't want them to go away. So continue doing that. Do not get discouraged by those handful of people that seem to want to make it about themselves. Make it about our artists. Continue talking about it. Spread the word. That's what we need to do, and we need to continue doing it. This whole topic of stolen kits, stolen artwork, whatever you want to label it as, it's important that we continue to discuss it. We need to continue discussing it because it's going to continue to happen. And our artists need us. If we have a platform, we can use it. That's a good way to use our platform. I feel like that is one very important way I can use my platform to help support our artists, period. And I'm allowed to do that. I did it long before most of these people that are complaining about it ever were in this hobby. I don't want credit for it, but I'm here to clarify the timeline. Sorry, guys, those out there that are feeling like their feelings are hurt because other people are taking credit. I'm here to tell you, this all has been talked about long before you ever realized the hobby existed. That's the truth, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just all come together. Let's all speak on it. When our artists ask for our help, instead of the backbiting, I want credit, I spoke about it first and these people didn't, none of that's just nonsense. Get rid of that. Let's focus on coming together as a community and helping our artists. That's all that should matter. That's it. The rest of it, totally not necessary. It's silly behavior. It's very childish behavior. And I won't be a part of that. That's why I don't follow those channels. And I want to encourage everybody to, if you feel like you want to speak on something, speak on it. It's your platform to do so. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they can't speak on something or support something that's very important, especially something like our artists. That is worth speaking on every single day of the week in support to help them, to lessen the number of fakes being bought. That's it. That's how I feel about it. It's not, this video is not aimed to hurt anybody. It's for clarification that the need for credit is unnecessary and nobody needs it. Like, nobody wants it. Nobody cares. You think our artists care? They're probably embarrassed by the actions of a small group because of the need for recognition. When the focus should always be about our artists, the topic at hand. If you feel so strongly about it, then don't make it about you. Keep the focus on our artists. Keep the focus on the task of trying to eliminate people buying fake, stolen kits, knockoffs, counterfeit, any label you want to call it. That should be the focus. Not being upset because someone else might get credit for something that you did first, because it really doesn't matter. I'm not standing over here stomping my feet, screaming at people and attacking people because I didn't get credit for talking about it first several years ago on my YouTube channel. Like, that's silly. It's crazy. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Why people act that way. I'll never understand it. I know that a lot of people don't understand and they're fearful because they're afraid of being attacked if they speak out of line or they say anything. You know, don't fear, guys. Speak up and speak out on these important topics. Just ignore those that have a problem with it, because it's not going to matter what you speak on. If you're not liked by that small couple of, it's like literally a couple people, they're gonna speak badly about you regardless of what your topic is, and that's the truth. So you have to just block that out. Ignore. I know it's hard, but it is what it is. But that's my thoughts on this, guys. I think it's important that people understand that It does not matter who did it first. It never mattered who did it first. Let's just support our artists. Let's support the things that are happening. When you feel like you want to speak up about it, make it about that, not about you. Like, end of story. And look at this baby, you guys. I was right. That fits her perfectly. Oh, it's gorgeous. You guys, look at this baby. Back to the cuteness and why I want to protect Bonnie Brown, because she's masterful. She made this masterpiece, this sculpt. Oh my gosh, you guys. This baby is like everything. She really is just, oh, hello, sweet girl. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous baby. This is what it's about, guys. It's protecting these works of art. You know, it's always got to be about protecting our artists, not about us. You know, like, I would be so beyond sad if something ever happened where Bonnie actually stopped sculpting any of our artists. But I'm just, you know, I'm using Bonnie as an example because that's what sparked a lot of this. And I just love her work. I love her work. Just, oh my goodness. You're just the cutest thing ever. I love her. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop rambling. If you stayed with me this whole time, thank you. I just want people to be kind. I just want people to allow others to speak on topics and not be fearful, especially something so important as the one that I shared with you guys. So continue speaking up. Using your platform for good is a wonderful thing. I think it's important. And continue enjoying the babies. This is what it's all about. It's just like my heart just bursts with love for this baby, for all my babies. And I want to continue to enjoy them. And yeah, hopefully this wasn't too serious of a topic, guys. I know that it's one that I've been thinking about sharing for quite some time. But I just, you know, I felt like it was time to talk about it. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Tomorrow is Friday, so that means the weekend is nearing us. Thank goodness. And I will be definitely back to make another video very soon. And until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.